You're just fully a magician then.
Fine. For my next trick, I'll make you disappear. Is that one of your powers?
Where did you send us?
I don't know what that means!
The moon that planet is about to crash into and destroy!
What is up, everybody? It's your boy. It's Konkon. Back
We back.
at it again.
Don't even start.
Listen, I always say back at it again. We back. Get it right.
I've not recovered from last week.
Listen, hey, nobody said we back. I went, we back. Did you like-
Yeah.
I figured you'd find that funny. Guys, how much I've been enjoying Loki,
Dude, Loki
tremendously.
been delivering every single week.
Every week.
Like, this might not be like the best episode for
How
some
dare
people,
you.
but I personally love this episode.
Dude,
Like,
I love
I've
it.
got no negative complaints on this show so far. They've just been crushing it.
Yeah, it was super good.
Marvel came out swinging.
The name of this episode is Lamentis, which is obviously derived from the planet that they end up on. I didn't expect the episode to go right into the TVA, which I enjoyed that. You see what I'm saying?
It was a possible thought for me because the previous episode ends with girl Loki, then classic Loki, going through the time portal, and after she had that like thing where she sent her grenades to different places, which we still don't know where all those grenades got sent.
I know, or what they are even doing.
So I didn't know exactly where we were going to end up, but it wasn't surprising to be in the TVA for me.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for joining us this week at Konkon's Cantina. Obviously, this week we are going to be talking about episode 3 of Loki, the mini-series, basically, is what we should be calling it, because it is going to be one episode.
One season.
And welcome to the Cantina of Heroes.
Welcome to the Cantina of Heroes.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I am the Knight. I am Batman.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Let the good times roll.
Dude, Loki is...
It's just amazing.
Every week.
It's exciting. It's action. It's character development. It's storytelling. Everything has been awesome in this show.
Rating out of 10 for you for this episode.
This last episode.
And where does it rank in comparison to the other ones?
I mean, we don't have a lot to stack it up against in Loki episodes. I give this episode a 7. I definitely think it's not my favorite episode that they've had so far, but I mean, I've loved every episode, so it's hard to like. It's not a negative thing. If it's my least favorite that they've had so far, because they've all been good.
They've all been good. This one is a solid like 8 out of 10 for me, and if I had to put them in an order, I would go number 1, 3, 2. Number 1 was just, and it's funny because number 1 like has no action really either.
Yeah, it's just sucking you in.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
I'm a sucker for character development, and this episode like really hit hard on that for me.
A lot of one-on-one conversation.
I also think that Tom is just a really good actor.
Yes.
And
very underappreciated, I feel like.
Yeah, and there's things that he does in this episode in particular that at times makes me feel like I'm watching another movie. I don't feel like it's Tom being Loki, if that makes any sense. And it makes me want to see him in more. It's kind of like how Robert
Pattinson.
Thank you, Pattinson.
You think of him being a vampire in Twilight. What's it called? Twilight, right?
Yeah, Twilight. You think
him in just some stupid heartthrob dodo, like doesn't know how to act, and then you see him in other movies, like you were just telling me one you watched that he crushes it. Yeah, and then he's gonna be Batman, and I went from being like this is dumb to now having high hopes.
And now all I want to do is I want to see Tom be more than Loki. In this episode,
have you seen? Did you watch the King Kong movie where he's in it? The first King. Well, I say the first of the new Monster Universe King Kong movies.
The one that
Skull Island.
Yeah, the one made by. He's blonde in that movie.
Yeah, he's really good in that too.
Yeah, he does good for sure.
And that's one of the few movies I could think of him.
And it's fun, being in. And you literally said that's one of the few. I couldn't even think of another movie. I only think of him as Loki.
Yeah,
and I hope that his career continues, and I get to take him away from that role because that's what it felt like to me in this episode is him getting out of that box.
And I don't feel like he's going to be shoehorned into the role of Loki because
he's somebody that can explode.
He looks so, what's the word, almost costumed by his hair. His hair is such a huge part of what you know him as.
Yeah.
And when you see him in regular, like, no wig, he looks completely different. And I think he's able to not be typecast.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a benefit for him.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's kind of the same with Chris Hemsworth.
I want to say Chris Pratt or Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. You know, you see him with the long hair. You think Thor.
Yeah, and you see him in other things, and he's got short hair, and he pulls it off. And you don't even think of him as being Thor.
Both of them look extremely younger with short hair too, which can help with the non-typecasting, like what you were saying.
Yeah, you see Chris Pratt in Jurassic Park. You don't immediately think of him as being Guardians of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. You don't connect those dots.
Yeah.
I hope that we get some more Hiddleston with that.
This episode, not a ton actually happens.
I feel like we're going to get a whole bunch of comments of people saying, you idiots, he's in all these movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Not a ton.
Whoa. On that note, let's go into the cantina.
Dude, it just rumbled from the depths.
Welcome to Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
In preparation of having some cocktails tonight, I am actually not drinking something alcoholic for, I think, the first time ever in the cantina.
Yeah, we've had a couple other people drink some seltzers, but I think this is the first time you've shared a seltzer.
So this is my favorite
Polar
sparkling water.
Get at Winn-Dixie, buy one, get one Polars almost all the time.
Almost all the time. Now, the thing that's special about this one is this is the orange vanilla. It tastes like a creamsicle.
That's awesome. I have not tried an orange vanilla one.
You ready for your mind to be blown?
All right, let's do this. That is delicious.
It tastes like an orange-sicle.
Yeah, that's amazing.
A creamsicle. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Super good. I like seltzer waters because I love caffeine, but caffeine is not good for you when you drink it in the quantities that I drink it. So I keep a ton of seltzer waters in my fridge in my office. So that is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Have you tried the seltzer waters with some caffeine? I was drinking one this morning. I have the AHA with caffeine. I drank it this morning while I was dying of 1,000,000% humidity in our horrible state of Florida.
Yeah,
and
it was pretty bad this morning.
The caffeine ones are awesome. It's a perfect little tiny boost. It's not like an energy drink by any means.
It's not that much. It's not that much at all. But
seltzer waters.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking an Elysian beer. This is probably one of the first times I have seen an Imperial Hazy IPA. I've seen a lot of hazies, and I've seen a lot of high ABV hazies.
Yeah.
But this is actually an Imperial Hazy IPA. So if you like an Imperial, I mean, you know it's going to be a lot more in-your-face flavor. If you like the flavors of an IPA, and especially a hazy IPA, I would recommend this. 8. I can't see if that's a 8.0 or 8.8% alcohol. My eyes are failing me because it's dark in here. Yeah, 8.8. Dang, I didn't want to say.
It's up there.
Yeah, 8.8%. I'll hold this in front of the camera. It's not the coolest artwork, but it's...
I thought it was cool. It's kind of like a Priesty, Grim Reaper-y.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Full contact Imperial Hazy IPA. If you like a hazy IPA, you're going to like this beer.
Yeah.
It's good. It's in-your-face flavor. It's a lot. If you're new into the game, you're not going to like this beer.
Yeah.
I give this a 7.5 out of a 10. The high
dang,
ABV
we have
is
to
nice.
we have to cut one of our Mandos in half.
Oh, dang it. I forgot we're not allowed to give halves. All
Yeah.
right. I'll err on an 8.
You're airing to the 8?
I'll err on an 8.
Okay, all right.
Because, that's for me. I love hazies.
Mando's got a lot of skin in the game, man. They can take some alcohol.
Yeah. This is a definite good beer. There's a variety pack floating around right now of Elysian that also had a beer that I reviewed on the previous podcast we recorded.
Yeah.
That's out this week as well for Bad Batch. And that was another winner. Sorry, I got a burp, and it's like on the edge of burping, and I don't want Niles to get it.
No, you don't. We need to repost that video.
But yeah, this beer is great.
Yeah.
If you see that variety pack, I think it's 3 different beers in it instead of 4, so it's like 4 cans of 3 different beers. It's a great variety pack. Pick it up.
Yeah, I have to check
Elysian.
it out. For sure. Loki. Both of us said we're definitely enjoying this episode.
The God of Mischief.
We start at the TVA. I mean, right off the rip, Lady Loki figures out quickly.
Yeah, last episode ends. This starts with her literally coming out of the portal.
I liked that she immediately has the same experience that other Loki had. Is like
Try
her
to use
magic.
his powers.
Yeah, magic doesn't work at the TVA. And she immediately gets one of those batons and zaps somebody. I'm surprised she didn't hang on to it.
Yeah, she threw it down, and I'm like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, I know.
Weapon.
She likes her swords, though. What do you like better, the swords or the daggers?
I like the daggers. I've
me
always
too.
loved somebody with 2 daggers, or size in martial arts world.
Dude,
I love
World
the
of Warcraft,
fast-paced, upfront, in-your-face fighting. I love it.
World of Warcraft being a rogue, sneaking around, having 2 daggers. It's definitely the 2 daggers for me. So they teleport away almost immediately, and they end up on this planet that is doomed, Lamentis 1. And I liked what she explains it in this episode. Is Loki grabs the data pad that she had,
The TEM pad,
and she has all the apocalypses pre-programmed in it. So he just picked one randomly, and he ends up picking the worst one.
Yeah.
So they go to this planet, and of course, there's meteor showers coming down. There's a moon crashing into this planet.
They're on a moon.
Oh, yeah.
And the planet is crashing into the moon.
It reminded me of Infinity War, when Thanos literally destroys that moon and pulls it towards him, and you got all the fragments and stuff coming down. But
their iPhone died.
How did you feel about the real world kind of play on the Ark?
You mean like they called it an arc?
They
disruption?
literally called it an arc.
Yeah,
I mean,
we see that in a lot of movies, and
it's true.
Like the arc is always known as like your giant ship to save you.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think anything of it, honestly.
What did you think of the ship? Because I have a very, very pointed. The ship reminded me something very distinct.
Okay, I didn't register anything.
The ship looks very Fifth Element.
Okay.
Very, very Fifth Element.
I can see that.
Like
I have some things to talk about when we get to that point in the episode when we're in the city too.
Okay.
But I'll wait till we get that far.
Oh, no, there goes the dog. So they get there and they quickly realize that they have to charge the temp pad, as you brought out, and they need a ginormous power source. They have a lot of what?
I was just the part where Loki sees a sign,
the
and he's
neon.
like, "There, that sign. Can that do it?"
Yeah. And she's like,
she's
yes.
straight up tries like, "Yeah, that'll do it."
Oh, the connector's right. Give me the temp pad.
Yeah.
Haha. He's like,
"No, you idiot. We need a gigantic power source, not a neon sign.
Not a nightlight." That's what she says. Not a nightlight. So they get to that old lady's house. Did that do it for you? Like, was that funny?
It was funny when Loki got shot.
Yeah, it was funny
because
when Loki got
he
shot.
thought he was gonna use his powers,
Yeah.
and when he's like sneaking, he sees the picture. He's like, "I'll take the form of her husband or whatever."
Yeah.
And he's like, "He's never said anything that nice to me before." Blasted him.
That's the part that got me.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, they were married. He's like, he never said anything that nice in 30 years or whatever she said. And then they see the train, right? And this train is taking everybody to the Ark. It's taking everybody to get them off planet. The way that people were dressed and stuff, it reminded me of like Hunger Games.
Yeah. It was
the rich of the rich.
It was like, yeah, like you either had all or nothing, and the all was like weird future flamboyant type of a style. Yeah.
Like going to the opera in Revenge of the Sith.
So I'll give you the first teaser of what this reminded me of. Ragnarok.
Okay. How so?
Just the stylization of everything. The planet when they're on.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And
all the neon and everything.
I feel like they reused a ton of Thor Ragnarok assets from that set piece and from the like even the CGI stuff that they spent all the money on. I really feel like this was an awesome, I don't mean this in a negative way. I think this is an awesome use of using all of these assets that the MCU has, just like Star Wars. Star Wars has now created like so many live action props,
a library
and sets that they can pull from the movies into the TV shows and from the TV shows into the movies and make it feel like a universe. I think Marvel is doing this too, because that's all I thought about. I was like, oh my God, this looks like the world from Thor Ragnarok.
The only con I had to this episode personally is I felt like the entire thing was CGI. I never felt like we were on set. And for the first time, especially like with Mandalorian was done in is it called the Void?
The volume.
The volume. Everything's done in the volume, but it looks so real. A lot of this, to me, I really could tell, okay, we're shooting in a big, giant blue box, and they're just walking, and there's nothing around them.
Yeah.
But thankfully, both actors kept it going with their acting skills.
Yeah, it was the dialogue between the two of them is awesome this episode, especially everything on the train, which we're kind of like getting to. Like
let's just get
on the
to
train, so they sneak their way onto the train.
Yep.
Loki mimics a guard's outfit, and then
Dude,
she and
Jim Carrey. Am I right?
Yes.
Like, was that when he is impersonating somebody? To me, Tom reminds me of young Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he does. He has that same vibe.
Yeah, he even looked like him when the visor's up and you can't see his hair. Like, anyway,
you seen that girl on TikTok? That's like the female Jim Carrey impersonator.
Dude. Yes, she is good.
She's good.
She's everything I want to be and more. It's awesome. They get on the train.
And then it's some of the best dialogue and character development between the two of them in the conversations on the train. I loved it.
It really dives into this idea that we have multiverses. They're the same person. They're both Loki. They both have the father Odin, and, the adoptive parents.
So this is I texted you after I was watching this episode, and I said I just thought of a giant plot hole.
Tell me, because I told you to save it.
Yeah. So okay,
this ready to shoot you down.
Kind of hard to describe, but once you kind of wrap your head about what I'm trying to say. So the space lizards, the timekeepers,
yes,
they have eliminated all other multiverses, and there is a sacred timeline. That's the whole point.
They are trying to eliminate.
They're keeping them eliminated, because anytime there's a variant, they stomp it out.
Okay.
So there's only one timeline, which is Marvel MCU as we know it.
Yes.
How the heck is this other Loki here? They haven't explained it. It can be explained, and it's not a plot hole. But if they're fighting a variant, the only possible option is she has been a variant and on the run since before the timeline has been set to the sacred timeline, before the Time Lords wiped out all the multiverses.
Yes.
Because there's no other way that there could be another version of Loki.
Yes, that is the explanation, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they
don't really say that. They just kind of leave it as like she's just a variant that...
In the first episode, when we have the little cartoon clock explaining...
the cartoon situation.
This is where time has been, when the timekeepers my understanding is that time was a fluid and doing all these things, and then the timekeepers came into power and said, no, we're not having this. Because think about it.
Well, they said the multiverses started having wars, and there was multiverse wars between them all.
They say that in the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, the timekeepers were not always around.
Correct.
They had to come into power.
Correct.
And then start imposing their will on all the multiverses. So at that point, that to me is the explanation. Well, she wasn't a variant until they come into power and say, oh, you're a variant.
But they kind of make it seem that she's a newish variant. At least that's the way I took it from watching from episode 1. that this is a new person who's starting to wreak all this havoc. And if that's the case, that couldn't be the case, because the whole thing is they have had this sacred timeline, which is the MCU as we know it, and that is it.
Okay.
There could not be a variant that is a Loki variant that is from a different multiverse. Any Loki variant would be Tom Hiddleston's Loki, because it maybe in some point in the future he did something that he could be a variant, but it would still be Tom Hiddleston. It would not be a different multiverse as Loki.
I'm having a hard time following what you're saying, because that's like the entire point of...
I think it's definitely something that they could explain away just by saying that she's been on the run since before, like since there was multiverses. Because at this point there is no multiverses. That's the whole point of the TVA, is they are only allowing a sacred timeline.
But there were multiverses before
that's what I'm saying.
They came into power. So she's been on the run the whole time.
She would have to be on run the entire time.
Yes, I think that's the whole point of the show.
They never allude to that. They allude that she's like a new variant that like, oh my God, this is just happening. We need to hunt her down. I thought about it. I was like, wait a second.
I think she had happened. Okay, maybe this will help. We see pictures of all the other Lokis. Mm-hmm. So clearly there's been other Lokis.
From the multiverses.
Yeah. So when they went to stomp her out, they couldn't.
She ran.
Yeah. Or she overpowered them. Right?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't so much a plot hole as it is something they just haven't clearly explained yet. But I just had the realization that you couldn't have two Lokis that are different versions if there are no multiverses.
Do you have... How much do you know about King the Conqueror?
Not a lot.
Not a lot?
Mm-mm.
We'll save that for a whole nother episode then, because all of the information that I have isn't 100% factual, and it really doesn't matter because it's Marvel Comics, and there's a huge difference between that and what we could have for the MCU and stuff, obviously. But so we get to the train, and we have these amazing one-on-one conversations with Loki and Loki.
Finding out similarities, differences, all that type of stuff. And
I really enjoyed. This was my favorite part of the whole episode. And I think this episode was done really well because it was kind of like quest, adventure. And I thought it was a perfect mix of go here, do this, it didn't work. Go here, do this, it didn't work. Go here, do this, it didn't work. Now we go to the next episode. Mm-hmm. But it flowed so well, whereas I feel like that kind of stuff hasn't flowed well in other TV shows. Like, to me, I didn't have the feeling like in Mandalorian or Bad Batch where I'm like, okay, another video game quest. Here we go. Get the thing, bring it to the person, and then we're done. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that feeling in this episode. This episode, when it was done, I was like, oh my gosh, it's over?
We still don't even know what happened.
And we still don't even know. Yeah, we have no idea what happens. Like, somebody has to come... Let's get through it.
It's gonna be for sure Owen Wilson.
TVA.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to find him.
So my other on this train scene, I love that when she finally does take a nap.
Yeah,
she wakes up to Loki obliterated,
dude, super drunk,
and like doing the Thor smash the glass and say
another one. Yes, dude.
Like I love that callback.
It was great.
Like showing that's just like the Asgard way. It wasn't Thor being a freaking jerk. It was like that's literally the Asgard way. Like, you like it, you smash it, you're out of excitement. I loved it.
Do you think the guy that walks off...
And shout out to Tom Hiddleston for some creepy, like, weird old world singing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't expect that.
Full send.
Like, Lord of the Rings style, like, old school sound.
I dug it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the guy that walked off the drinking cart?
Oh, the guy that, like... gave him the scowl and then went and got the guards. I didn't think much. Like, I just thought he was like, I don't trust these
I don't know. It seemed weird to me because remember, she specifically says, where's your outfit?
Yeah, because he's drawing attention to yourself.
He drops the outfit. He's in his variant outfit. I don't know. I think that was very pointed for a reason.
Could be.
But also,
I just
like you said.
I thought he just got drunk and loses his mind a little bit.
Get this idiot out of here. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Get the obnoxious guy out of here.
They get to the city. They get thrown off the train, which their
smash
plan,
the TemPad.
Yeah, their plan beforehand was to drain the train of its power.
Drain the arc of the power. They were going to pull the power from the arc, and then it gets smashed. And then they say, okay, will get on the Ark. They've never had us on it.
Oh, okay. That's what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was they were going to do it for the train. Oh, yeah, you're right, because they established that when they're at the old lady's house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I follow you. So they finally get to the town. The town reminded me of that snowy planet in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And I really liked, as you see on our set, we have like the purples and the blues, even on Justin's side. We've got the purples and the blues. That whole like retro 80s synth vibe.
Yep.
That's
It's
like up and
amazing.
coming again. Yeah, it's super cool. I really liked... You know what was super weird for me in the town scene? Is chaos starts raining down and the guards
Are still defending them.
they're randomly attacking them like they know who they are.
Yeah.
Was that not...
had
Did you pick up on that?
a little bit of a problem with that, too. I was like, first of all, nobody knows who they are.
They walk
Second
into
of
the
all,
bar.
Like, the world is ending,
Yeah.
and the Ark is about to take off. So these people know they're
dead.
We're dead.
Yeah.
Why would the guards still be, like, doing anything?
It was super weird.
It wasn't until the Ark gets destroyed that then the guards
then
are
they
like,
give up.
Like, oh, like, dude, it was still leaving without you. What?
Yeah. Then they give up.
Yeah.
To watch I liked watching Lady Loki like straight
What's
up
her
just...
name that she calls herself? I can't remember. She changed her name as like I have an alter ego or...
That's her name from the comics. Sientra or... I'm forgetting it, of course, because you're asking me what it is.
I never read that much of the Thor or Loki comics. I was never huge into them, so it's new information for me.
I'm trying to see if I can't find her name real quick, but...
We don't need to... You can keep looking. We can talk while you're looking.
Yeah, so she looks away. I also liked kind of the... I liked the banter about explaining each other's magic and how she was trying to teach him.
Oh, he's for sure going to learn how to do it.
For sure. And he has new powers already that we have not seen. The telekinesis in the episode 2 where he gets the Roomba, he's never done that before.
He stops the whole building from falling down.
Dude, that was the most Jedi... Jedi.
What is that, a Spanish version of Jedi?
Jedi. That was the most Yoda... It was Yoda and Jedi mixed. Yoda, like, holding up the big thing from crushing Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Like, bro, if you can pick up whole buildings, why are we wasting our time with so much things that are happening right now?
It was hard for me to watch that.
Yeah.
It was hard. Super enjoyed the episode, but... didn't make sense. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, I did have a inside my body like frustration with them all attacking him, like you said as well. While I was watching it, it wasn't enough to ruin anything for me.
No, definitely not.
It was just enough to like scratch the like back of your head. You're like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So she walks away. Like we said, I have no idea where episode 2 is going to go.
I like that.
Or episode 4, sorry.
I love how the episode ends, like where it's the first time like nothing was solved.
Yeah.
Like they're still in a bad situation.
Yeah.
My immediate thought is the TVA is Owen Wilson knows that they're going to, what's the word?
He knows where they're going to go.
Oh my God. What's the end of the world scenarios? Whatever. Apocalypse. That's the word I was looking for. He knows they're going to apocalypses. Yeah. So I feel like that somehow he'll figure out and pull him out. That's really the only option.
Yeah. Something will 100% have to happen.
Otherwise, we know that everybody dies on the planet.
Yeah.
So it's not like
that multiple times.
It's not like we're gonna get some cool like new hero that we haven't seen, like a Silver Surfer come in and like do something. I just threw that out there.
What if we did?
Because of Galactic Super.
That would be.
But it's not sick. Like, I mean, realistically, we're not going to get something like that
Yeah.
because everybody dies.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be something with the TVA because their tempad is destroyed.
Or what if them being there has created a Nexus event that keeps this from being cataclysmic to everybody? Because that was his whole theory in the second episode, right?
Yeah.
So if they've created enough disruption,
we can kill, we can do, we can change.
Maybe they have changed it, and because there's nobody there to keep it from, maybe there is Nexus energy that they've created, and they do change the timeline and they don't die.
That's definitely a possibility.
I mean, it has to be that, or like you said, Owen Wilson.
I think it's more likely
Mobius.
that we get a comes in and saves us.
You come all the way down here. Wow.
It's like, you guys really almost lost it there.
You almost did it. Guys, thank you for joining us this week at Concon's Cantina, the Cantina of Heroes, where we talk about Marvel TV shows. Once again, me and Justin very much enjoying Loki. Super awesome. I can't wait to see where the show goes. I mean, that's really all much I have to say.
Very much enjoying this full contact Imperial Hazy IPA.
Guys, go check out the Discord and the Facebook group. Social medias at konkonscantina. Thank you to our Patreons, and we will see you guys next week.
Okay, see you.
Okay, see you.